Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I will be testing out one of the patterns that I have been working on lately. It's very simple, kind of cropped wool jacket. It's a little bit oversized but not too much, and of course I have already made a couple of twirls, but this is the first time that I'm going to use real fashion fabric. The fabric that I will be sewing with today is 100% wool, just because simply this is what I had in mind when I was designing this pattern. And yeah, I would like to share this process with you since I haven't been really sharing much. The last time I have talked about any of my patterns was a couple of months ago when I made a video about the mail address. We will talk about it a little bit more today. We will also talk a little bit more about this pattern while I'll be making it. I promise myself this is going to be a short intro. I'm already rambling. Everything is ready behind me, so I will just start with sewing darts since there are a couple of them in this pattern. The last thing I want to point out that this is not a tutorial. It's not going to be too much detail and hopefully not too long. The point is to discover the good and the bad things about the pattern that will need to be changed and simply just have fun making it. Here I have one dart in front and there is also dart on the sleeve. Just to give a little bit more of shaping to the sleeve, I will go ahead do this, and then I will move on to the pockets. For now there are just 2 pockets in front, no other ones. This can change, maybe not, I will see. And the pockets are lined with a little flap on the top. This is, by the way, the fabric that I'm going to use for the lining as well. I need to sew those darts as well on the lining. I almost forgot. I didn't use the pins. I just simply basted with a thread, because when you have such a thick fabric, it tends to slip and slide. So that's why I made a couple of basting stitches. The next thing that I'm going to do about these darts, I'm simply going to kind of just open them up like this, cut on this edge, and this will allow me to iron the darts open, and this will effectively remove a lot of bulk from these seams. Just I have to be very careful that I don't cut into seam, of course. For the lining part, there is no need to cut those darts because the fabric is very thin, so that shouldn't be an issue. The same, I will go ahead and sew it on all pattern pieces for the lining, and I will just simply press it nicely. So that's it. I think if I was to use a different type of fabric for the shell of the jacket, something like some cotton twill or maybe like a denim that frays a little bit more than the wool which I'm using, and I would still decide to cut the darts open, I think before actually pinning and sewing the darts, I would just iron on a little patch of fusible interfacing over the point of the dart, and then I will pin it and sew it, just to make sure that these stitches are quite secure there. I have to keep this in mind in case I will decide to make this jacket in future in something like denim. the darts are sewn. I have the lining here, sleeves, and this is how it looks like for the front bodice. The fabric that is poking out here from the dart, this I will simply just cut it off. This is how it turned out on the sleeve. It pressed out very nicely. I think I will finish all parts of the lining, which is at the back. It simply has this kind of like facing, and also it has these two little pleats on the top. Also here at the bottom, which I already made, and that basically will give you a little bit more room. Now I will just go ahead and sew these two pieces together, because as you can see, it's just base stitch at this point.
Follow through, take your time. You move like water and taste like wine. You're holier than I am, holier than I am.
I am jumping here and there, but today I want to achieve as much as possible, and I don't have the brain energy to think too much deeply about it, so I will go with the safest option. Now I know that for sure I can sew up the sleeves on the lining and on the shell, and then let's see what will be the next step. Probably pockets because I cannot do much without sewing on the pockets. Maybe while I'm pinning I can talk a little bit more about the design of this pattern. Well, basically there is not much to talk about, and that's not a bad thing. It's kind of intentional. I saw this picture of a very simple wool jacket, of course on Pinterest. I think at this point maybe 1 year or year and a half ago, and it's so simple design. I thought that this could be kind of like an entrance for someone who have never made a line jacket before, because it doesn't have a lot of details and maybe it will not be as intimidating as the others, but you will still get something very nice that you can be very proud to wear, and something that will get a lot use, because for me this is very important whenever I make something. It has not always been like that. Of course, when I was just beginning to sew, I just wanted to make things because I discovered you can make things, and because I wanted to learn fast, I did that, and it really helped me to learn very fast. But today I want to make things that I actually really love and that I will actually really wear in day-to-day life. That was kind of simple way of thinking behind designing this jacket, so hopefully it will serve this purpose. I don't know honestly when I'm going to release this pattern, because it's kind of the end of winter. I mean, it could be made in different fabric, maybe something like a denim, as I mentioned, so that could be more like a transitional jacket. But to be honest with you, I don't think it will be possible this season, because I'm just so busy and I still have the Mila dress that it's basically 99% done. I just finalized the instructions. Hopefully everything will be clear now, and the next step will be to make a tester call and find the people who will be willing to test it. As you know, if you follow me on Instagram, I did a fit testing before, and that was with a small amount of people. I think I had around 5 to 6 people, I don't remember. It was back in summer, and I think that we have discovered the most fitting issues, or the most important ones. I have been working on fixing those. Yeah, so I think we are at the point where we can do a tester call. If you are interested in testing Mila dress, which I will put a picture here if you have not seen the videos, the video that I made before, maybe just follow me on Instagram. This is the place where you will get the most quick updates about project. So let's finish those sleeves so we can move to the pockets.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope. I look for the things I don't know.
It's the next day. I finished yesterday by sewing on the pockets. I also made the buttonholes on the flaps, and I didn't film that because I wasn't sure if it's going to work. It was the first time for me to make a buttonholes on such a thick fabric with this machine. Now I have Benina Virtuosa 150, which I bought secondhand. I highly recommend. And before I had Singer, I'm not a big fan of Singer. If I can be honest with you guys, could never do that before with that machine, and with this one it was not that difficult, I have to say. Maybe the bottom part is not that great. So this is how it turned out. I have the front, I have both of the sleeves done, I have also sleeves for the lining. We have sewn this part, which I think I already showed you. Yeah, this we have ready. Today I will start by sewing the shell back and front together, maybe the sleeves, and if I have time I will start to sew the collar because I already basted yesterday. The collar is from two pieces, the stand and the collar. In my opinion, it's not always necessary to have a collar with a stand, but in this case I feel like it makes a lot of difference than just a collar attached directly to the neckline. So hopefully I will have time to do this. Now I will actually go ahead and pin the front and back together, and yeah, so let's do this.
All in this, I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honest, honestly don't. I should be the last to know. We're all in this, I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honest, honestly don't. I should be the last to know.
Yesterday I realized I did a couple of steps in a wrong order, so I had to do some seam ripping. First I sew the lining piece with this facing on the top, and I realized that's wrong. So basically I have to attach it first with the facing that goes to the front, so it looks something like this. This is how it will sit on the body. So this is what I did yesterday evening. I didn't film it because it was just too dark. And what else? Yeah, the collar. The thing that I did with the collar was to sew first the collar itself, these two pieces together, and then I wanted to attach the stand. But this was again wrong, and yeah, this can happen. I just try to be quick. I don't think too much about it, and I make mistakes like that. So I had to step back and sew each layer of the collar first together with the stand. So now I am left with two pieces like this, which should be mirrored, and then I will be sewing them together now that the stands are already sewn in. So, long update. Everything should be fine now. I think I will go ahead now. Again, I have to think about it a little bit so that I don't do anything wrong. But if I'm not wrong this time, I should go ahead and sew partially the facing to the shell of the jacket and sew the lining from this blue fabric together. So this is what I'm going to do now. So I will basically start sewing from this point. I will make a corner, continue and go all the way down until the bottom.
This is as good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay they open harmony when the old one's gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin, beginning to thaw from within. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today is a good day to live. This morning has so clear a light as any.
Here we are at the end, and this is the final product. First of all, you're going to see it on just in 1 minute. I just want to briefly talk about the things that I would like to change. I would like to also ask you to tell me, what do you think that needs to be changed, or what you would like to be different? I will start. First of all, I think that the pockets are just way too close to the bottom placket. I think they need to be moved further away from it, towards the side seam, just slightly, so that it doesn't end up being so close. Then I think I would also personally move them a little bit more up, maybe 1.5–2 centimeters, not much. Other thing that I would like to change is at the back, and you can see it when it's hanging here. I think that the bag needs to be slightly longer. I think maybe 5–6 centimeters. I don't really know. I have to try and see. I'm also thinking generally about the shape of the bottom. Right now it's just, as you can see, straight. I have an idea in my mind to make it more like scooped in the front and back. Still, I want to keep it kind of cropped, but I will definitely go ahead and make one version at least with a different bottom to see how I like it and how it looks compared to this. But whatever what, the bag needs to be longer for sure. I have to admit one kind of a big mistake I made when I saw in the color. I accidentally exchanged bottom with the top. So as you can see over here, you can see the center seam, because this should be at the bottom and this should be at the top. So this was a kind of a big mistake, but it was too far in the process. I already trimmed the seam allowance, so it wouldn't be possible to redo it again. It's okay, it's fine. I also think that I need to shorten the dart at the sleeve, and I think that's basically all. I really like how the color turned out. I already wore this jacket and I felt very confident in it. I really like it. I'm surprised I like the color so much. So yeah, overall, it turned out well. There is definitely room for improvement. Now I will show you how it looks on me. And again, I would like to ask you if you have any suggestions, what to change, what you like differently. Please leave it in the comment down below. And I'm also wondering, what are the projects that you are currently working on? And also, I would like to know, what are the things that you are sewing the most? Are you making things from knitwear? Are you making the dresses mostly? Are you making a lot of bottoms, shirts, whatever it is? Please, I would like you to tell me what it is that you make on repeat. I guess that's it from me, guys. Thank you again for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.
I just wanna go out and walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out and walk with you. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our two outlines. I like to see the shape you're in from time to time. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine. I just wanna see the same things you can see, understand